Good morning, people. How the hell are we doing today? It is Friday. I have, let's see, today, what am I going to be doing? I'm going to talk to you guys for about an hour and a half, talk about Michelle Obama being the OG fat shamer she is. And then we're going to, I think I'm doing some grocery shopping today, and then out with the wife, out and about, and then definitely hitting the gym today. I'm probably getting 2 workouts in the day. I'm starting to crank up a little bit. And today's food is going to look somewhere along the lines of, excuse me, somewhere along the lines of probably about a pound and a quarter of steak, and some green veggies. A lot of green veggies, probably. That's it. That's all I feel hungry for, too. Yesterday was nice. Had gourmet burgers without the bun. Made them at home. And then besides that, I'm just fucking chilling all weekend. We're going to do some writing and chilling out. I hope all of you have a great fucking weekend. It's supposed to be cold as fuck here. And it's cold as fuck for here. It means like it's going to get into like the low 40s at night. And for here, that's like iguanas falling from trees cold. That's some cold shit. And before anybody else, if you're just starting to watch this, if you're watching this on replay, this is for you. Please do check out the description box, the pinned comment, wherever you're watching this. We do have our coaching specials going on, and I'm actually going to do this real quick. I gotta put this everywhere. Boom. And this is for, we had a 3-month block of our coaching for while we're on live. Okay, and the 30-minute consultation is for any given time. 30-minute consultation comes with a month of the app, all the pre-recorded and live yoga, HIIT training, even walking that my wife does with everybody. And it is a way you can run everything, everything you want. You can run your MyFitnessPal through it if you track calories, blah, blah, blah. Here you go. It is the pinned comment, but it also is right there. I hope all of you motherfuckers are having a great goddamn day. Please check us out on Rumble. Please check. Actually, let me get the Rumble link for you guys too. I should start pushing this more places because they're eventually going to just shut me the fuck off on Facebook. It's eventually going to be shut off. Follow me on Rumble. Boom. Let's go. Let's see. Had to set your alarm. Fox, thank you very much. That's very nice. KC, how the fuck you doing, motherfucker? Good to see you. Ugly Jazz 41. How are you? Besides being a little self-deprecative. Janet, how are you doing today? I hope you're having a great day. 13 degrees here tonight. 13 fucking degrees. Never again. I will never live someplace that gets that fucking cold again. Ever. Ever. That hurt my bones, you fucking saying that. It's weird. Like, if I stay up north for any extended period of time, my arthritis and my shoulders and shit like that just flares up. And, man, living down here in Florida, I understand why old people live here. So, I thought I was Big Mike, but Big Mike Obama has beat me to it. That's funny. Teresa, how are you? 13 inches of snow from Friday to Saturday. Fuck that. Here we go. How's it going, Emily? Great to see you. Looking forward to talking to you. More in the UK. Tracy, how you been? Buenos dias to you also, Meta. How are you? And yo, what up? We have no idea who you are because you're coming from Facebook, and sometimes it doesn't show your face. Anyway, today we are going to talk about Michelle Obama and how she is the OG of fat shaming, and how somehow or another we've gotten to the point where we literally had. I wonder if anybody has approached her about this, like, because I can tell you this right now. I've even heard people talk about like her running for office. I don't think the people in her party would vote for her with her past statements. I mean, and here's the thing. I agree. Like, just so everybody's very well aware. Excuse me. Just so everybody's very, very well aware. I am not like a right wing or left wing person. I'm all government officials lie to us, and I think that that's the fucking problem. I mean, I was hashtag reelect nobody was a hashtag of mine for fucking years. Because I just don't. I think that our government has got to the point where it is not a government for the people, by the people. It is a government of rich people that decide what the average person gets to do. And then the rules don't apply to them. And that's the fucking thing. And it's been like that for a long time. A long time. And that's the fucking problem. If you would check, I was actually against, I don't believe that us electing more billionaires or multi-millionaires is actually fucking a great thing. What do I think of Ron Paul? I think Ron Paul is better than most. I think Rand Paul is better than most. I think anybody that's actually spoken about natural immunity and things like that, and are showing their colors because they're going against the narrative. But that doesn't mean it's not self-serving. Like, we should not have people in government ruling us for decades. That's a fucking issue. It really is. It's a fucking issue. You know what I mean? We have the guidelines basically, like the Constitution. And the weird thing is, we have people not wanting the Constitution. Like, I was just talking about this on Twitter. You should check me out on Twitter. It's the MFACOO. It's right here. You can check. This is the handle I use on Twitter and Instagram. You can check that out. If you tweet, you know. But earlier today, I twatted that we should have total free speech. Like, free speech should not be limited to speech that is considered acceptable, because what is acceptable to one person is not acceptable to another person. So therefore, to have free speech is not. Now, people retort back, "Oh my God, but what if then racists would be able to say what they want?" Like, yes, that would be a good thing. Allowing racists to say what they want, because the fucked up thing is, and retire Mitch McConnell. I fucking completely agree. Mitch McConnell's been in fucking office way too fucking long. But when it gets to hate speech and stuff like that, there's a couple of reasons why oppressing hate speech is bad for everybody. First of all, to imply that hate speech in some way it should not be spoken about, looked at, and then let people decide if it's hate speech or not, implies that people are too fucking stupid to see hate speech. We get. I know we're actually on a different thing, like racism, everything like that, because Michelle Obama, I'm sure, had to face plenty of racism in her life because it was a different time. But so if we would allow people to actually say what we wanted, we would know what their thoughts were. Right now, political correctness is literally institutionalized lying. So people do not actually say what is on their mind. You know, people don't actually talk about things that are on their mind. Like, I would much prefer to know somebody's racist right off the fucking bat. You know, that was the glorious thing about growing up when I grew up. Like, you knew who to avoid because you knew who the fuck they were. Now people just lie. They openly lie right to each other's faces. And that, to me, is a problem. You know, people think that it would be better to not actually fucking state these things, when in fact, here's the thing. If somebody hates somebody for the color of their skin, for whatever reason, if they automatically predetermine that because the person is of a different skin color, the person is of a different gender, the person is of a different ethnicity, the person is of a different race, if they automatically assume dislike for the person based off of that, there's something fundamentally wrong in their logic, and there's something fundamentally wrong with them. Or they have been through some sort of serious event that has caused their ideology, their mentality, to get skewed to the ridiculousness. Because you cannot judge people as a person based off of their genetic traits. Like, you just can't. Their personality, who they are, how they are as a person, is not something that genetically can actually be determined visually, you know? And there's something wrong with them. The thing that makes it different is that if you tell that person they cannot speak about it, and if we don't speak about it at all, that just festers. That it does not change their mind. It does not do anything but ingrain it in them that they even can't speak about their thoughts. That does not change anybody's mind. It absolutely does not. Like, one of the big things that I faced in the last couple of years, they didn't want me to even say the word obesity. They were aspirating out the E in obesity. It doesn't change the fact that you fucking sound like you're breathing soup. It doesn't change that. It doesn't change any of this shit. It doesn't change any of the actual real world ramifications of it. I mean, to not say something does not mean it's not true in the world. Especially when we don't say something. Sorry, coffee went down the wrong pipe right before I got on here. To say that, like, to actually oppress speech because it might hurt somebody's feelings when that person absolutely has a fucking option to not listen is insanity to me. That is completely un-American. It is against the Constitution of the United States. And anybody standing for it is not an American to me. Now, a lot of people, when I say that, get fucking assy. Like, I'm an American. I just don't think that people should be able to be mean to each other. Then you're not an American. Like, people have rights. Like, and saying mean things is actually one of those fucking rights. Just so everybody understands. Like, our rights aren't to protect the majority; they're to protect the minority speech. They're to protect everybody. You know, and if we allowed everybody, like, if we allowed people to be openly saying this, like, if all of a sudden the racists were just allowed to say all the racial slurs that they wanted to, right? We could have conversation with them and be like, why do you think this way? Like, what led you to this moronic decision that you think just because this person is white or this person is black or this person is whatever, that they are a certain way? Like, that's just fucking idiocy. It's absolute idiocy. We would be able to point that out. But instead, we don't even have these conversations. There is also no such thing as misinformation when it comes to the scientific method. The scientific method is based off of challenging the outcome, challenging the thoughts based on the data. Any true science can be debated. Any true science. It is not science if it cannot be debated. If it cannot be openly debated, if one side gets control and says, this is how the science is, and then dissenting opinions are not allowed to be had, because right now we're marking dissenting opinions as misinformation, because we are assuming that the conclusion is sound, based on reality, and completely true, when science is all about disproving previous science as data comes out. Like, we are approaching things from the standpoint that this medical procedure, therapy, anything is safe, effective, blah, 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 blah. And people that say it's not, somehow all of a sudden people say that they're stating medical misinformation. But if they can produce data and argue their points on the data that exists everywhere on it, or if they want to say that a virus, people see a virus as super deadly, the worst thing in the world, we should close everything down for it. And other people say, well, my opinion on it is this, that it's not that deadly, that we've had worse things in the past, that everything like that. That's not medical misinformation. That's a difference of opinion based off of the data. That these two sides should then come together, sit down, and discuss it, preferably openly in front of the entire American people, so the American people can then be informed based on each side. Because very clearly, science is not settled for something that has not been studied for about a year, and that's the issue that we go along with. We are at a stage in society right now, and I know I'm going to talk about. I'm a little off topic here. ADHD, that's what you guys get. But we are at a stage in society right now where we are literally labeling. I mean, the title of misinformation is just the same thing as the title of hate speech. It's just an excuse to stop speech. And that is endangering society. People need to get there. It definitely is endangering people. When somebody can come across and say, we should warn the elderly and fat people that they are at much higher risk than everybody else. And that people that are younger and healthier, especially under the age of 65, especially under the age of fucking 30, that are healthy or even decently healthy are at very nominal risk. They're at less risk than they are of the seasonal flu of this certain particular pathogen. And I'm even having to do it here because of the way misinformation is censored on YouTube. But when we're at that stage where that truthful statement is labeled as dangerous misinformation, it allows lemmings, people that will just follow the approved narrative right off a cliff. It allows them to think that they are not only right, but that think that that everybody is at super risk, and that's unhealthy. And my point is, we should just free speech be free speech. Somebody asked if I thought that hang on, let me pull it up because it was an interesting question. Here we go. Do you think the internet should be a public utility so it's under constitutional protection, i.e. First Amendment? I do. I believe that if you want to be a corporation in the United States, you should have to, and I thought, by the way, for those of you that are about to say, well, those people, what about those people that didn't want to make that cake? I openly said way back then that don't have a fucking business. I don't believe my businesses should be limited to just the people I want to fucking work with. I help people get healthy. I help people change their lives. These are things that I don't say bragging. This is reality. I help people come to better relationship with food. I help them live longer, happier, healthier lives with their families. This is something that I do, and I don't think that it would be fair of me to necessarily limit that to people that I just fucking agree with. Because the thing is, I don't agree with 100% with just about any fucking body. Maybe I can have conversation that is very pretty similar with people. Crystal and I have pretty much agree on every fucking thing under the sun. But other people outside of my family unit, I mean, I don't agree with just about anybody, 100% on everything. And if you think you do, if you I agree with every word this person says, they're either lying to you or it's a fucking amazing coincidence, And so I do think it should be. I mean, I do think that it should just be open because who regulates? Actually, Rob just said it. Rob Whitman. Who decides what is hate speech and what isn't? Because that's where we're at right now. Where we're at right now is that people are deciding what is allowed and not allowed speech on these platforms that are clearly town halls. I mean, the very second you start taking advertising money for people you start taking advertising revenue, it should be a free, open market by the Constitution, in my opinion, because then they can control the markets. Especially because they're so big and powerful. It's just that way. So I'm going to get to a few of these things. I felt that way about businesses because I don't want my dollar to support companies that I disagree with. That's the thing. You vote with your dollars. You know what I mean? You absolutely do. And I think that if they want to, they should just let people decide. I still that's why at the beginning of all this, I'm going to state my opinion because I'm not like one of these other fucking lying sacks of shit that's going to hide their opinion on the world just to make money. I'm going to let you know who the fuck I am. If I coach you, I coach you. We talk weekly. You see my face. You hear my voice. I actually speak to the person. It is a live consultation. I don't want what's happened. It is impossible to discuss physical health without discussing what's going on in the world. It is impossible to discuss lifestyle without what's going on in the world, especially because I have clients everywhere from Australia to Japan and California to Canada. Right down the road here in Florida to middle of the country like Nebraska. I have clients everywhere. I have some clients right now that literally get pulled over and they ask what they're doing, what they're out and about for. Clients that are under curfew, clients that haven't been allowed, basically allowed to go to a gym in 2 years. I have clients everywhere. So for me to coach people and be actually realistic with them, I have to be able to address these issues. And we are at a stage in society where weight loss and getting better lifestyle skills is literally what we need. We have a world to save. You guys will be seeing that statement, coming from our end for a while now, because we do. We have a world to save. We are massively fat, massively ill, and to be real, we live in a time where people are terrified of viruses, but yet we're not going to take care of ourselves. It's totally disingenuous. Anyway, we're going to get to, and I've got all sorts of. We talked about right at the start who was vulnerable to the coup. who was passed right over. I mean, I went over it yesterday. We knew as early as like February. It's fucking crazy. I work at a nonprofit pharmacy at a health center. I've been saying to everyone, eat real food and work out like your life depends upon it. It's just been ignored. Health is wealth. That is great, 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 great advice. Fabulously great advice. Let's see here. All right. Okay, now here's what we're going to do. We are going to go to one or two of these clips I have. Give me 1 second here. I'm getting set up, guys. It takes me a minute. All right. This, if everybody wants to see this, is from 12 years ago. Almost 12 years ago.
What about this word obesity? It's been suggested that that's a very accusatory, negative word.
Right.
It's not a comforting word at all. Do you use it that way when you?
Well,
Isn't it crazy that even 12 years ago, people were talking about how bad the word was? Like, it's a word. It's a medical term. Like, I mean, that is what we're seeing right here is the beginning of systemic lying to the point where it actually hurts people. Because make no mistake about it, us not openly talking about how horrible it is to be 300 fucking pounds, and us pretending that people like Lizzo aren't in fact tragically ill with mental disorders, this is why society is weak as fuck right now. I mean, we are weak as fuck as a people. I mean, it is not one political side or the other political side. A majority of the people are weak as fuck. They're fat, weak, dependent upon big pharma and the healthcare industry.
you use it to describe the issue because the trends are obesity-related trends. 30% or 1 in 3 of our kids are overweight or obese.
And by the way, in 2020, the childhood obesity rate went up faster and more than the previous 20 years combined. That's how fucking crazy that shit is.
A real statistic, so it's a real word that's important to describe the problem. We're spending over $140 billion a year on this country dealing with obesity-related illnesses like heart disease and cancer and type 2 diabetes. So
that number has also skyrocketed. If we do not watch the prices of insulin, the prices of metformin, and that sort of thing, and we keep creating new type 2 diabetics because we are just pumping sugar into the fucking country, that is government subsidized by like $4 billion, by the way. I mean, the government is paying to make you ill. I'm just saying. It just absolutely is. The government is paying to make highly palatable, processed sugary items much less expensive, so then you can feed it to your children and get them fatter. Because let's be real. Do you know who eats sugar sugar daily? Children and adults that act like children. It's fucking that reality. But we're going to spend $1 trillion on diabetes in the next a year, probably in the next 5 years, if we don't fucking reverse this shit. We have reached an unsustainable level of illness in our country. We have a world to save. Like you will hear me talk about this a lot moving forward, because I just don't understand how it's not viewed as an American. After the last 2 years we had, how is it not an American responsibility, seen as American responsibility, to try to be as healthy as you can? I mean, if we were supposedly if everything was so terrifying, if everything was in so need of us to literally shut down the fucking world for public health, why has public health gotten worse? Why has actual physical health of the public gotten fucking worse?
You have to use the word to talk about the reality of the situation. But
exactly. Michelle Obama is literally stating you have to talk about the words to talk about the situation. The problem is right now we've gotten to the stage where we are ignoring the situation. We are actually ignoring the situation that being fat is actually bad for you. Like somehow, like that statement is labeled as fat shaming. Like Being fat is bad for you. Being fat is unhealthy. That's considered fat shaming. It's fucking crazy. It's absolutely fucking crazy.
But I agree. This isn't about looks, and it's not about weight. It's about how our kids feel. And those are really the implications of the problem in the words that tell a fuller picture of the challenges that we face. You know, kids
And by the way, this is the first time I'm watching this video.
struggling in ways that they didn't a generation ago.
In your announcement earlier today in the state dining room, you made a point that the parents are going to, if anything's going to happen, the parents are going to have to take control of this. How can you get that message over without appearing to be a scold of some kind, to point fingers and use this word?
We should point fingers. If your child is morbidly obese and you're not doing everything you can to have that child escape morbid obesity, if you have a 13-year-old that weighs 200 and some pounds and is of average height, you are abusing them. We need to call this what it fucking is. You may not realize you're abusing them. It likely is not on purpose that you're abusing them. You're probably just trying to get them to love you. You're just giving them whatever you fucking can to appease them. Or your habits are so fucking shitty that you're probably sickly yourself. But that means that is not an excuse. That's the fucking problem. That means you are, in fact, hurting yourself and your child. It absolutely needs to be spoken about. That's another reason. Like, if we're not even going to talk about how can we save children's lives? How can we prevent this next generation from being even fucking fatter than the generation we have now? How can we right this ship if we do not actually address the fucking issue? If we don't actually address the fucking issue that being obese is in fact bad for you, that becomes hate speech almost. If you are labeled some sort of ist, or if you are, like, I've been called a racist, an ableist, like, you just fucking put, like whatever label they wanted to fucking put on me is what they fucking put on me. But if we can't even discuss the issue that being obese is in fact bad for you, that it is in fact not healthy for you, if we can't even discuss it, then we cannot fix it. And it needs fixing. That's the thing. People don't even want to admit that it needs fixed. It needs fixing. It is not glorious. It is not glamorous. These people are ill. These people are physically ill. Like, physically ill. That people need to understand this. They need to get there faster. This video is almost 12 years old, and they're already talking about how people, well, we don't want to hurt people's feelings. I'm sorry, but I'd rather hurt your feelings and watch you live an extra fucking 10, 20 years with all your limbs and shit like that, and you fucking hate me for the rest of it. I'd rather be that motherfucker than the person who says, no, you know what, you're okay, have another donut, and then I'm the person who has to drive you to get your fucking toes amputated a couple years later. I mean, that's the fucking reality, people. I mean, that's where we're at in society. You know, I don't understand how it's literally, I cannot believe this is still 12 years ago. This is the way it is.
Obesity in a negative way.
Well, you know, a lot of it is tone and showing a level of understanding of how we got here.
How we got here is what we'll go over here in a couple minutes, because how we got here is the fucking FDA food pyramid. No shit.
And all parents, including me, care about our kids. And we want to do the right things for them at all times. And we have to start with that assumption that parents aren't deliberately making bad choices. They're making the choices that they can under the circumstances. And I think we have to approach this issue understanding that, not just with regard to parents, but with regard to our kids. You know, we have to understand that they didn't create this problem for themselves either. But we have to be realistic about how we got here in order to figure out how to solve it. And parents cannot do it alone. That's one thing, because it's one thing to identify a problem for parents and then just sort of leave them all alone to figure it out, and they don't know why or how.
That's on the parents. That's personal responsibility. Like, I mean, I can tell you this. I unfortunately had not met my wife when my son was born, because I met my son when I was 5. My wife got pregnant and read every fucking book on parenting there probably is the fucking, that's what Crystal does. Crystal, when she talks about something or when she does something, she learns every fucking thing about it. That's what she does. It's amazing. I love it. Well, that's on the fucking parents. Like, parents don't know what to do. So you aren't even checking what type of fucking fuel to put in the fucking car that you fucking made that's called your child. Like, I mean, that's the fucking moronic shit. Like, so they don't have the fucking personal responsibility to fucking check out what's going on with their fucking children. Like, that's crazy talk. That is absolutely crazy talk. I did want to fucking do this real quick, though. This is the reason why we have fucking issues. This is insane. Use sparingly, fats, oils, sweets. I actually decently fucking agree with that. Added fat, added sugar, anything like that, use very fucking minimally. Absolutely. Milk, yogurt, and cheese, 2 to 3 servings. Why? You know, meat, poultry, fish, dry beans, eggs, and nuts group. This right here is literally your essential food. That is your literal essential amino acids and fatty acids. That is literally fucking essential right there. You need amino acids and fatty acids for your body to run. Your body needs to make hormones from the fatty acids. Your body uses the protein as building blocks. This is the actual important shit. 2 to 3 servings a fucking day. Vegetable group, 3 to 5 servings a day. I actually think that could be that you could just put the vegetable group and the fruits groups together, fruits and vegetables, and get anywhere from X amount of servings a day. I normally eat one huge serving of vegetables, which probably would equate to 4 servings of other people's. But this right here is the fucking issue. The 6 to 11 servings of completely unnecessary carbohydrates. Of breads, cereals, rice, and pasta. How the fuck do you think that ultra-processed foods became so fucking important to our government for people to consume? How the fuck do people think that fucking happened? Because we did not evolve with that shit. That is not your body. Your body could never take in a carbohydrate ever fucking again, and it would function. Ever. If you could somehow get all of your micronutrients from other stuff besides carbohydrates, you would never, ever even miss it. Ever. This is the fucking problem. This right here is the problem. Is that we are telling people to eat in a way that is going to make them sickly. And then, like, look at the industries that profit on the bottom of this fucking thing. Where is it? I got a point right here. The bottom right down here, look, and then think of the industries that profit off this. The cereal industry, the bread industry, all like ultra processed, the wheat, so many. And I can guarantee your ass this, breads and things like that, they all fucking have sugar in them too. All of them, you know? And then, this is no shit. That goes away from actual local farms, everything like that. So it goes to huge fucking production farms. And then when you look at who profits off of the end result, the healthcare industry, the pharmaceutical industry, and what it does to the people, it enslaves people. And we need to get this across. Being obese makes you a slave. Being dependent upon the healthcare system and the pharmaceutical industry makes you a slave. If you are on the monthly subscription package, meaning you get monthly medication from the pharmaceutical industry due to any sort of a lifestyle-driven illness, you are openly enslaving yourself to them. Like, if you could eat healthier, get better, get better activity, get better sleep, hydrate better, if you could do all these things and in some way not be on that medication, why would you choose to be a slave? Because that's what it is. You're choosing to be a slave. I mean, that's where people need to realize that it should stop. Like, it absolutely should stop, but it won't, because as long as it is allowed, as long as these people keep doing this, it is going to be seen as very, very, very problematic for people. You know, I mean, it is going to be seen as some way. It's what we should be doing. It's fucking craziness. Like, it is. So we're gonna talk about Michelle Obama just one more time, just for another minute or two. Here we go.
Michelle Obama's days are focused on helping to combat childhood obesity, launching a national campaign to get kids healthy.
A national campaign to get kids healthy. Why was this not followed up upon? Could it be that it was just, all talk? Like this was something that that was being done that was a good thing. I mean, I'm sure people were watching this thinking I was going to come on here and drag Michelle Obama, but these are all positive statements. My problem with her is that there was no fucking follow through. The National School Lunch Program used pizza as a fucking vegetable. She got soda machines taken out of schools. Because that way the kids can't just go and get soda, but they can fucking get, they'll drink orange juice like crazy, which is basically sugar water when you get in the cafeteria. I know because I've procured this shit for fucking cafeterias. Or they'll be able to eat chicken fingers and pizza every fucking day. Fried chicken fingers, fried French fries, and pizza are on the fucking children's menu at almost every high school every single fucking day because they're cheap and expensive to make for the actual facility, and they hold well, and they're fucking super, super, super inexpensive, and they fly off the shelves. It's fucking crazy. The school lunches used to have a main and an alternate way back in the day, and they were checked by a dietitian, and they should just stay that fucking way. And even then, it was still probably too much processed carbohydrate. But what the fuck?
Tell us about this latest initiative concerning that.
The overall goal, Robin, is very ambitious. We want to eliminate this problem of childhood obesity in a generation.
So, this is a generation ago and childhood obesity, again, in 2020, grew more than the 20 years before it. That's where we're at. That's the success we've had.
1 in 3 kids are overweight or obese, and
it's likely closer to 50% now.
We're spending $150 billion a year treating obesity-related illnesses. So we know this is a problem, and there's a lot at stake. So we know that we need to do something big and get moving on it. So we're launching a nationwide campaign called Let's Move because we need to get this.
Imagine that, encouraging children to run and play and move more and not eat like shit, and their parents not feed them a constant stream of sugary shit. Imagine.
Done.
It's almost like somebody has said that recently and been fucking called a racist for it. I mean, in the last, it's fucking tragic. It's fucking tragic. It really is.
My kids have to get up and move. They can't sit in front of the TV. I have my girls involved in sports because I want them as young women to understand what it feels like to compete and to win and to run and to sweat. That's all this.
So we're going to get the questions now. I just wanted to show everybody, here's the thing. It's not like it's a foreign topic. It's not like it's something that is out of the realm of discussion. Like me stating on a daily fucking basis that being obese is in fact bad for you is a known fact. It's known. We've known this for a long fucking time. How we are not taking it seriously. It's gotten to the stage where obesity is a protected class. And that is very dangerous for society, extremely, extremely dangerous for society. Let's see. We're going to go back up and I'm going to scroll through some questions. So, people like us don't really get that affected. I had to take an antibody test with my partner. Turns out, okay. We found out right at the start who was okay. That's where we were at. That's where we're at. I hate work at the hospital being called fat. I hate work at hospital being called fat phobia. When I only went to help them. I am sorry. Obese children is child abuse. Period. I agree. It really should be seen that way. And here's the thing: I'm not saying the person is trying to abuse their child. It is negligence at the very least. And there was a time when our son, when he was growing up, had put a little bit of weight on. We sat down, talked to him, started monitoring his food, making sure he was good. He completely self-regulates himself now. it's because we didn't make a huge deal about it, but we didn't lie about it either. You know, like that's the fucking thing. See, all these obese kids make me very sad. I'm truly grateful for my dad being the biggest fitness influence in my life. Good for you. Good for him. No shit. It's the same with obesity and pets. People seem to think that fat pets are cute, but you can actually get charged for having a pet that's too obese in many places. Like, I mean, for abusing the animal, you know? And not just the sugar, don't forget the breads, pastas, rice, corn, absolutely. I was just telling my patients and staff yesterday that it's disgusting that the new CDC statistics are 1 in 9 adults have diabetes and 2 in 5 are pre-diabetic. What does that mean for future disability? That is a very fucking scary number. That it really is. It's an extremely scary number. 1 in 9 adults have diabetes. That is fucking scary as fuck. People have no idea what that actually means. The wave of illness. I mean, Atlas Golden, can you send me where the statistics came from, please? I'll actually do some shit on that. So, because that's tragic. A couple of days ago on the work internet in the UK, it advised that because of multiple lockdowns, the children overweight and obese had a significant rise in numbers. Of course it did. Of course it did. Atlas Golden, those are conservative numbers. The parents had access to the internet even back in 2010. They did, but just to be real, like my parents were told, like they didn't send me to school with like 100 grams of sugar in me, that they were being bad. Like the propaganda is big. That's why dissenting opinions should not be silenced. You know, that's why, like, you feed a child that has ADHD that's is clearly hyper. You feed them cereal with whole milk, orange juice, and and shit like that, and off they go. They're like 100 grams of sugar in a day, and then they can't focus in class. You know, if my parents hadn't like started looking into that shit, it would have been it would have been even worse. You know. Jessica, how you doing? My sister has 3 kids, and while they will sometimes eat fruit and vegetables, they are definitely hooked on things like chicken nuggets and always ask for sweets. I keep saying not to give it to them. I mean, feeding your kids sweets, people should approach added sugar like it is a drug. If we did that in society, added sugar, added non-natural sugar, I'm not even talking honey or maple syrup or anything like that. I'm talking added sugar. Added sugar should be viewed in the same care as you view drugs in. I've said it forever. I 100% mean it. Humans don't need a single carbohydrate to survive and be healthy. They really don't. Are you carnivore? He's asking somebody else. I eat a very high protein diet, very high animal protein diet. I really do. But I eat vegetables every day. My son is addicted to fruits. That's awesome. That's the fucking way to go. That's nature's dessert. It absolutely is. Food lobbyists are the reason that's way. Yep, absolutely. When you get away from sugar, you find that it's in almost everything. It really is. It is in almost everything. You don't want to overdo fiber, so there does need to be a limit, in my opinion. I mean, people will regulate that shit out. If my thing is, if we took away all the processed food, if people ate, and I've talked about this before, if you don't want to, if you have problems and you're not, if you have problems and you are not interested in coaching, you're not interested in anything like that, this is the best advice I can fucking give to anybody, like anybody, okay? The best advice I can give to anybody is for you to take 15 days, like literally take 15 days of no processed foods at all, just vegetables, fruits, meats, water, no calories via fluid. That in of itself will help you. And people need to get there faster. So, by the way, if you did want to coaching, here is the live coaching block. I just wanted to put it in there again because I'm going to keep putting it in there because we help people on a fucking daily basis. Absolutely. my daughter is autistic and is quite difficult with food, but I get her to eat around 3 pieces of vegetable a day. Fruit is more difficult. I'd imagine it's for some children that are autistic, that's a textural thing too. Michelle's real name is Michelle. I'm not going to get into all that. I'm not saying it's not true, but I'm not going to get into all that. So, because in reality, I don't like. My thing is Michelle Obama tried. Like, people need to understand that. Like, and whether it was political gain or anything like that, she at least tried to get children healthy. And to a great degree, because of how politicized the world is, because they want us to be in one of 2 camps instead of us. Like, there should be, have your 2 camps, but the majority of people should just be kind of like observing these 2 camps and taking what they want from it and viewing how it is. Because if you do that, if you see that the extremes on each side are very fucking dangerous. The problem is right now, in my opinion, of course, the left's extreme side is the most vocal side. It is not liberalism by any fucking stretch of the imagination. It's not progressive, it's not liberal, it is fucking woke ideology that is damaging. I mean, it is anti-American. Like, you cannot believe in censorship of scientific discussion and consider yourself American. Like, I mean, you fucking can't. I mean, you can try to, but there's that little thing called free speech that you are trying to fucking oppress. You know, I mean, it is not, it's like misinformation. Misinformation applies. You're so fucking stupid, you can't tell if somebody, like, you can be led astray. Maybe you should smarten the fuck up. I mean, like, what the fuck? You know, like, an intelligent person can't be misinformed. Because they will be intelligent enough to fucking either see the misinformation. If 2 people are debating, say McCullough, Dr. McCullough, and Fauci would debate, which would be fucking awesome. That would be great for everybody. Because here's how this would work. If the 2 of them would debate on what's going on right now, they would both have data. They agreed upon data. Then they could talk back and forth about what the data actually fucking means. If it would turn out like Fauci had much better points, and it wasn't just like, you don't understand. So if we agree that both these people are intelligent people, experts in the field, and they have discussion through their debate, we can easily tell what would be the best. And this would help out because say I'm completely wrong and the therapy is completely safe and everybody should take it, and blah, blah, blah. That would be proven in debate, and therefore it would reduce down problems. Or if the other side, where this all seems sketch as fuck, is proven, then people would wake up to that. Not discussing issues, not discussing facts and data especially, is very dangerous for society. Just deciding one side is correct and not even listening and labeling anything said by the other side as incorrect, that is fucking dangerous. That is not how people move forward. That is how we create generations and generations and generations of obese children who become obese adults. This is how ill health happens. This is how dependence upon a tyrannical government happens. Is they don't let you think. They tell you what to fucking think. If you think the government should be telling you what information is correct and incorrect, when you can hear opinions on the information from anybody you like, and then you can make the decision, because here's the fucking thing. You're supposed to make the decision. This is like them telling you, I mean, just so, to be real, this is like them saying, you can't vote for this person because they're incorrect. That's what that is. Like, you can't listen to people because they're incorrect. That's the same thing as saying you can't vote for them because they're incorrect. When the government has decided who is correct and who should be listened to, that is un-American. That is a problem. Let's debate. Let's fucking the Republicans dragged her for this. It was fucking horrible. Like any political entity that is against getting people healthy, I have nothing. That's another reason why I'm an independent. It absolutely is. It's another reason why I'm an independent. Yes, she was. She was attacked for this real issue. I agree. I know some of you are probably coming here trying to catch me fucking slipping and trying to fucking think that I'm going to be somehow, stating how ridiculous she was and saying, like, why aren't we shaming her? But my point is that this has been spoken about for a long fucking time, and the way we're viewing fat shaming right now, Michelle Obama will be very fucking guilty of it. But it is not fat shaming. If it was good enough for Michelle Obama, for the left, why is it not good enough for everybody else to fucking actually address? It's time we get back to fucking reality. It's time we get back to knowing that viewpoints shift to suit political leverage. Like the left has just shifted their viewpoint on all this shit away from what Michelle Obama, who used to be considered the left, it has shifted away from her so they can actually control people that don't want to be called fat because it hurts their fucking fifis. That's what's happened. The real joke was that Pokemon Go did more to get kids active in a month. That's very fucking true. That's very true. Why are people like Michelle Obama being ignored and silenced, but Lizzo and Tess are being put out front? Well, that's because Michelle Obama is not speaking about this anymore at all. That's because, again, the ideology for the party has changed. If they don't pander to people, I think they believe they can't win. So, this is true too. Video games and cell phones have caused kids to be lazy, and the lockdowns made it worse. I fucking completely agree with that. I've been encouraging my daughter to get yours and Crystal's coaching. Well, Michelle, I mean, like I said, and there's the month package is right down underneath it. We are looking forward to working for it. We look forward to working with it. So, let's see. There was a study years ago that found that 50% of all products with high fructose corn syrup had trace amounts of mercury, very dangerous. No shit. I mean, it's crazy. I'm 46, and a significant number of my friends are now having blood sugar issues. I've randomly tested a few friends' glucose, and they've been post-meal numbers over 200 and think everything's fine. Ooh, that's fucking dangerous. That's not fucking good. That is insulin resistance waiting to fucking happen. That's non-alcoholic fatty liver disease waiting to happen. That is diabetes, amputation. People need to fucking get there much, much, much faster. Much, much, much faster. Woke is overused. A lot of people need to wake to the fact that their diet is killing them. I agree. Fauci is not arrogant compared to people who aren't educated on anything, spreading lies. What? What? Oh, we have somebody claiming misinformation. So how are pandemics not made worse by poor health of the population? Seeing as how viruses have a much easier time killing fat, weak people and elderly people. How are they not? I'd be interested to hear that. Michelle Obama was attacked from all sides. She was. Absolutely. I'm not disagreeing. I disagree that how they went about handling overweight children in schools by singling them out at schools, giving them a different lunch than other kids. They can't just have healthier lunches overall. They should have had healthier lunches overall. I agree with that. It's because here's the thing: if it's unhealthy for one child, that means it's going to eventually be unhealthy for another child. If you focus on just proper nutrition, it would work. What I don't understand is if you're a doc, you know how the body works, so why do you not push people to stop with the added sugar? Well, in retrospect, doctors know quite little about nutrition. We have a few endocrinologist clients. That was a response to a statement. Okay. Well, it's not misinformation. My point. It's an opinion. It's an opinion. It's a factually based opinion. Like you using the word information, Van Hughes, implies that there actually is misinformation. There is not. There's opinion based on data. Now, disinformation is knowingly wrong information, but there's no such thing as misinformation. There is just opinion based on data. So you using that word makes you look kind of fucking stupid. Just being real. As a kid, I grew up with beans and rice. Kids these days just want pizza and junk. That's the fucking thing. Beans, I mean, like, and that's cheap as fuck. Beans and rice is cheaper than pizza and junk. 100 out of 100. Every time they attempt to handle the problem, they do it in the most half-assed and wrong way. Seems like whoever is in charge of tackling obesity in the government don't actually know what health basics are. A huge portion of it is if they try to change the school lunch program, dumbass fucking parents will fucking get pissed because their kids will come home and bitch about it. So like we're letting the kids decide what they're gonna fucking have. It's a fucking problem. It really, really, really is. It really, really, really is. I wish we could change a huge allotment of it, but at one time we can't. I can't believe what they feed kids in school these days. It's tragic, like fucking tragic. If you have a teenager in high school, you should absolutely go to their cafeteria and check it out. I mean, you will see Domino's Pizza, what looks like Domino's Pizza. There's a lot of schools that actually get pizzas from like Domino's or Papa John's and shit like that. Lots of fucking schools. Lots and lots and lots. And then they upcharge the pizza slice and the parents have to pay for it. It's such a fucking scam. It's insanity. It's so fucking crazy. It absolutely is. I mean, they'll farm out stuff like that to fast food places, and they'll buy the cheapest fucking, most mass-produced shit crap to fucking preheat and reheat and feed your fucking children. But they won't have they won't have a garden on at the fucking place. It's fucking crazy. Let's see. The operative word was caused, pandemic, and were not caused by diets alone. I know healthy people who have been attacked by this virus and it destroyed their bodies. Shut up. I know healthy people that have gotten colds in the years and they've had trouble with it. You know, it's an anomaly. So, and your anecdotal fucking, that's one person. For it to be an actual systemic issue, population-wise, it starts with the health of the population. If the population is unhealthy, that's what can make it be from it's absolutely fucking nothing to it's real thing. You're the one spreading disinformation and misinformation, actually. You're spreading misinformation by making it seem that all people are at the same risk. That is a huge step of misinformation that was done by the fucking government at the beginning of this. We know that obese people and elderly people were at most at risk. Elderly people necessarily can't do much, but most of them are fairly isolated. When the average age of death is 78, most of them are fairly isolated anyway, especially when they have 4 or more comorbidities as an average. The younger population, if obesity was an actual thing, it would likely be under 5,000 deaths a year of people under 65. Just saying. So it would not have been a pandemic if the population would have been healthier. If there wouldn't have been lifestyle-driven illnesses, which do account for 86% of all healthcare burden. 80-fucking-6%. If it wouldn't have been for that, we wouldn't have had to do any mitigations because the hospitals would have been frankly fucking empty. And we would have had much less sick people. So absolutely, motherfucker, if you want to look at it, while a virus is the actual problem, the degree to which it affects the population depends on the health of the population. So if we would not have obesity, would there have been pandemic level problem? I mean, there wasn't really a pandemic level problem anyway. If you would count it how we normally counted the flu, there wouldn't have been a pandemic level problem anyway. But what you're saying is actually misinformation. No, I mean disinformation, because you are making the clear statement that somehow people are also at risk when they are young and healthy, when in fact they are in no more danger. Like my car is way more dangerous for me than the vid. Way, especially the watered down vid. I'm talking OG vid. These are just, again, this is just fact. This is on the CDC website. We did a video on it the other day, a live video. I mean, I know you're here probably to fucking just whatever. You look stupid. My daughter took her lunch, and now her sons take his lunch. Never ate cafeteria food. That's fucking awesome. Great fucking job, Gina. It's going to be hard because these kids plus parents are basically addicted. They absolutely are. We have a completely addicted society. They're addicted to the constant fucking influx of telling them that they're fucking amazing, even though they treat their bodies like shit. Absolutely. Yes, the schools get them a 50% discount as well. That's fucking disgusting. And then they resell them for like $2.50 a fucking slice, by the way. Apparently, Van has not seen the CDC report. No shit. Fucking crazy. I mean, that's actual disinformation. Like that's that's against actual real data. So no shit. Man, I'm glad I took leftovers for lunch. No shit. My 85-year-old mother-in-law survived because she refuses to lay down. She sat and did a little exercise. That's fucking awesome. In Finland and other Scandinavian countries, our school lunches for kids and teens are free and amazing. I remember that our teacher Was watching everyone take a salad. Sorry, my bad. That's awesome. That's awesome. Oatmeal every morning, vegetables every day in my home. I don't spread misinformation. Be consistent in truth. The truth is, you're spreading disinformation, wrongful information by implying that everybody is at the same risk when it is factual that they are not. Absolutely factual that they are not. You used your anecdotal example of somebody who is young and healthy by your fucking statement, which probably means they were 300 pounds, and they were young and healthy, and took care of themselves and ate right, and it trashed their body. Well, that happens with every virus to young and healthy people all the fucking time. No lies here. Yeah, I think you're lying. So, I do. I think you're lying. It doesn't matter if you're lying or not. Your anecdotal evidence does not change the actual, that's disinformation. You were using your anecdotal example to make a statement across all of the population that it would have been a pandemic level issue, when in fact, if the population was healthy, we would have been at almost no fucking risk, because people that are healthy are at minimal risk. I'm more in danger of heat stroke. Right, you get that, right? It's insane. My risk level is for my age bracket is I'm one out of every fucking 280,000 people. That's not risky, buddy. I think it's because left wing are more doing social justice and fighting discrimination. Discriminations, real or perceived. Western feminism is also more left wing. They're not, the discriminations they're fighting are not actually real. I agree with that. That's a very good statement. Not a question, but a statement. Thanks for helping out your community. You are actually helping people and saving lives at the same time. If anything, you're a hero. You've got my respect. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I didn't say they were all at risk, but it happens. It does happen, but that doesn't mean it does happen, and I've said that. However, you said you implied that it was a pandemic no matter what, when the statement is, if people were healthy, there wouldn't have been one, and there wouldn't have been one. Poor diet and poor exercise is the reason why many, many, many pandemics, in my opinion, of course, I can't say all, but many pandemics become pandemics. The biggest pandemic we have right now is obesity. That is the biggest. Obesity kills 3 million people a year worldwide, more than the inflated numbers of the VID. And every year it has been. This is reality. Do you have any suggestions for parents who have kids eat healthy at school? I can pack lunches. They can just throw it away and get an unhealthy junk at school. I wish I had a better thing besides talk to your school and not let them order that shit. Not let your children order that shit. You know what I mean? Our school didn't care. We would try that with our son. He would still just go. They're teenagers. They're going to rebel. He would go get it anyway, and we'd still have to pay for it. So, I think it's a very systemic issue. The schools, it's a profit source for the schools, by the way. They absolutely pay for the workers, and then they pay for whatever company runs the workers, because they normally farm that shit out, by the way. Major high schools farm that shit out to companies like Sudoku and a few others that I'm not going to mention. But my suggestion is try to have everything that they really, really, really like, in their lunch, and talk to them about the dangers of it. I'm sorry, but kids should understand what happens when they're fat when they grow older. People should be afraid of becoming fat, because it's unhealthy and dangerous. People should be terrified of it. It's just reality. We've had pandemics throughout history. Many of those pandemics were so bad because society in those times were malnourished, and specifically vitamins, minerals. Exactly. And a lot of it's been a reaction. Most people from the 1918 Spanish flu died from bacterial pneumonia. And it's from the mask wearing and shit like that. I've seen trends that show diet snacks. People have given them with kids, swapped snacks, fruits. Would your coaching program be appropriate with people with eating disorders? A vast majority of our clients, Lila, Billy, T, have eating disorders of some kind. I personally am a binge eater. So, and what we do, that's why it's a method. That's why it's individualized for the person. Now, we are not mental health professionals, but we are food addiction coaches. So, and we work with people with eating disorders all day fucking long. That's pretty much the crux of what we do. To a great degree, but a lot of America needs to realize that they have an eating disorder, that they at least have disordered eating. Any type of eating pattern that is going to leave you in a chronically ill state, and you know, like the physical effects are already felt on your body, and you continue to eat in that pattern, that is disordered eating. So anybody you know that has to hold their breath when they tie their shoes, that they have disordered eating. I mean, that's the thing. Like, if you have eaten yourself into a state of ill health, you have some sort of disordered eating. We just don't recognize it that way. My dad used to take his break to come get us a lunch so we could eat together. That's fucking amazing. That's good fucking parenting right there. Obesity leads to several lingering lifelong diseases that drain the system and eventually kills. Sorry, but it's reality. It is absolute reality. And again, 86% of the burden on the healthcare system is in fact lifestyle related. You know, we had such a big to-do at the beginning of all this about protecting the healthcare system. And I will state again, if we would have taken our health seriously as a population, we would not be worried about that at all. We would not be. The amount of severity for people that get viruses of all kind, upper respiratory, when you're healthier, you oftentimes fight it off much easier, especially when you're supplementing antiviral replication supplements really well, when you're getting plenty of vitamin D, plenty of hydration, plenty of sleep. Your body fights that shit off. Your immune system is amazing. We just need to start viewing it that way. I mean, we need to actually view ourselves as the amazing accomplishments we are when we run healthy. Like, I'm going to be 51 years old this summer. Like, I feel physically amazing. Like, I wish people, like, when I get proper sleep, because the ADHD is tough sometimes. But when I get proper sleep and I'm properly hydrated, those are my two biggest challenges, by the way, is sleep and hydration for some reason. When I get like, I feel amazing. I can't imagine myself, like, I talk to other people I went to high school with and other 50-year-olds, and I'm just, how can you live the way you're living and not do something about it? And most of them just think they're too far gone, that they can't do anything about it. Well, I mean, you better fucking try, for real. Alan, I can't stop eating Popeye's chicken sandwiches during coitus. What do I do? And you're going in time now. It's amazing that people actually fucking still do that shit. I don't fucking understand. The invention of TV dinner was the greatest failure in society by far. I fucking agree. Jessica, I usually don't eat school. Didn't usually eat school lunches, but when I did, it was usually a snack cake on my binge day. That's tough. If I look half as good as you at 51, I'll be fucking proud of myself. You're an inspiration. Thank you very much. Wait till you see 51. I'm going to be in fabulous fucking shape on my 51st birthday. It's going to be fucking crisp. Anyway, when this first started, China already gave us warning who was more vulnerable: smokers, obese people, and elderly. These are the same demographics that are vulnerable of all diseases. Exactly. Exactly. My oldest son got an extra point in health class for every day he had a protein bar / shake. It frustrates me because I think he should prioritize protein that's fucked up. Like, they shouldn't be given extra credit for processed items. That's fucked up. Don't get me wrong, I like protein powder. Protein powder is not as processed as what people think. Sometimes the ingredients are, but it's whey protein. But it's still a processed item. I use them as like a treat. I really do. Heard of a lot of toddlers who were hospitalized due to the overconsumption of salt in TV microwave dinners. It's horrifying. Facts, Alan, so many of my classmates are fat and unhealthy. It's fucking kind of crazy. You know, like, we've reached a stage where we're like openly acknowledging that this is a lie, and people are pushing back against it. Like, that's why I have no patience for the fat acceptance community anymore. Like, you're hurting people. Like, by trying to say, like, you can't tell me you can't tell somebody's health by looking at them. That's such a lie. Like, that is a factual lie. That is actual disinformation. That should be removed. But they will remove shit for misinformation, saying that obesity is a problem. I've seen it happen to many people's accounts and my accounts. We've reached a stage where society is just openly lying to itself. because the government told you to. Because they want you to eat from the food pyramid. Because, not because that will keep you healthy, because that will keep you dependent upon them. Like, people need to understand this has been a systemic problem for a long fucking time. The Food and Drug Administration is not necessarily working for the people. The United States Department of Agriculture that stated the fucking food pyramid is not necessarily saying what's best for fucking people. They're not actually fucking putting information out that's going to help people be healthy. You want to be healthy? Eat 90% or more non-processed items. Meats, veggies, fruits, even rice. Rice is, you know, rice gets a bad rap because it was even put in the food pyramid down there. Eat beans, eat eggs, like, eat things that grow from the fucking ground or have a fucking face that eats things from the ground, or eats other things that eat things from the ground. Eat fish, get exercise, walk, you know, move your fucking body often for like an hour a day. Half hour, instead of have it for a half hour a day, try to get like an hour of movement in a day. We were not a species that was supposed to just sit the fuck down all day. The 2,000 calorie suggested limit, by the way, was for males at a time when we fucking moved a lot more than we fucking move now. The average male should probably take in, the average heighted male, 5'10", should probably weigh somewhere around 165 pounds, just muscle mass wise. And for most of them, that is going to be somewhere around 1,800 calories if they move a little bit. Because in retrospect, that's the fucking caloric burn they're going to have. But instead, they take in 2,500 calories and they weigh 250 fucking pounds, and they can't figure out why the fuck they weigh 250 pounds. It's a fucking problem. If you are a sedentary individual, if you sleep 8 hours, wake up, sit down, eat breakfast, sit down in your car to go to work, sit down at work, sit down in your car to come home from work, sit down and watch TV at night, and then lay the fuck down, if that's your fucking day, you should eat a very, very seriously low caloric diet. That is sedentary as fuck. 2,000 calories for you is going to have you weighing 200 plus pounds, depending on hormones and age and shit like that. It is not fucking healthy. That is a sedentary fucking lifestyle. We should be impressing upon people to move, to get up, to hydrate, to get proper hydration, to not drink your fucking calories. I mean, watching people drink soda to me is like watching people drink beer to me. I mean, for real. And watching people just down them all fucking day long, like, it's a very dangerous fucking thing. Like, we need to fucking get there very fucking fast. Society has gotten so weak that they can't handle any negative feelings, emotions. Negative feelings are evolutionary in place for humans to spur change, but of course, that's fucking so true. Like, you're fat shaming. What now? What now? What did I say that's not true? And you stomping your foot in the ground saying, no, you can't tell my health just by looking at me? We know that's not true. Like, because here's the thing, gravity. I say it every fucking day. People are like, you can't tell if a fat person's healthy or not. Gravity exists. They're fucking their legs up. They're fucking their back up. They're fucking their ankles up. They're fucking their fucking endocrine system up. If you've got fat rolling off of you, as a newsflash, that is an organ, it's an oversized organ that produces hormones. Your body is going to have more estrogen in it than it likely should have, because you have fucking put more fucking fat on your body. And in your body, fat produces cytokines, highly inflammatory markers, but it also produces hormones and shit like that. It's reality. I mean, we need to fucking get there. We need to actually fucking accept reality in today's world. We really fucking do. Food manufacturers only care about the dollar. They design food for you to want more of it. I don't eat processed items at all. That's fucking awesome. You are healthier than most just by that. When I wasn't wearing a mask, a random person told me that my muscles weren't going to save me. Your immune system saved you. No shit. It's absolutely amazing the amount of endurance a human has. No shit. You should know how much resistance I get from people when I tell them just to take a 20-minute walk. It's fucking crazy. Obesity is the American way. It is the problem of all of our people. It does not belong on either political party. I'll agree with that. Yeah, I genuinely wonder how people like ARL have been alive. I mean, it's very, very, very pampered. She's young still, relatively. I feel for her. You know? I had to cut mine. I had to cut mine by another 150. I take about 1550 to 1600 a day. If you increase your activity a little bit, you might be a little better. But honestly, a female, if you're a middle-aged female, 1550 to 1600 calories, especially if you're not going to be moving that much, is probably going to end you somewhere around 135 pounds. There was a kiddie movie called Wall-E. We're living in Wall-E. Like, I mean, we really are. We're living in the movie Wall-E. It's fucking crazy. It's insanity. It's crazy talk. It really, really is. You know, a second. All right. So, all right, folks, just a couple more things to do. Here is the 3-month coaching block I wanted to say, and I'm going to answer any questions. So anybody have any questions I can get to right now? Oh, well, you're surprised there's not protests over the poor ingredients in food? There should be, but there's not. The people that eat that shit are blind. They think it's healthy for them. As you can, like, just from the food pyramid. Like, I could put that shit up again. Oop. I mean, look at that crazy shit. Like, that's amazing. I don't want this. There we go. But look at this shit. 6 to 11 servings of bread, cereal, rice, and pasta. All that shit is super processed. That's the shit that the ingredients get shoved in, by the way. A little bit of the yogurt, a little bit of the cheese, maybe here and there, and the milk definitely gets fucking altered to a certain degree. But in the fats, oils, and sweets, obviously, the sweets have tons of fucking things that go with them. But right in here, the bread, cereals, rice, and pasta, that's where all sorts of additives, food dyes, colorings, all sorts of shit, the sauces that go on, like macaroni and cheese, all that shit is very fucking bad. Like vegetables and fruits, there's no additives. Like eat veggies, eat fruits, eat meats, there's no additives. Like I don't understand how people have a fucking hard time understanding that shit, but it is what it is. So I'm going to stop sharing the screen. There we go. All right, here we go. Just put out an alcohol drinking video with a tent-size dress. She's drinking alcohol now. I wasn't aware. I feel for Amber. I really do. I really do. I've offered help though. So I work in beverage distribution. I'm at a deficit of 3,000 calories because you move around a lot. Good for you. Good for you. I struggle to eat I know a bunch of people that move around all day that eat like 4,000 calories a day because they're moving constantly. But that's people that are moving constantly. That's not the fucking same, you know. I struggle to eat early in the morning and tend to always push it through. Instead, would it be better to get over my food intake and eat in the morning for fuel? You don't need fuel in the morning. That's the food you eat in the morning, that needs to be masticated and digested and turned into glucose, blood glucose anyway. It normally takes a while unless you're eating a highly sugared item. Sugar enters the blood system very, very quickly. But I would worry more about your hunger. If you're not hungry first thing in the morning, get your fluid in and then eat later on in the day when you're hungry. I think eating when you're not hungry is not a good thing, and especially for fuel. If you have any weight to lose, you don't need to fuel your body. Like I don't need to extra fuel my body. And you definitely don't need to fuel it with carbohydrates. If you have weight to lose, you do not need to fuel your body with carbohydrates. That is something that the diet industry does tell people in order to sell fucking carby products. That's it. I mean, if you have weight to lose, you don't need to do that. So I know one cannot spot reduce. To that being said, what do you recommend for stubborn lower belly fat? Just honestly, I recommend you just keep functionally going the way you're going and try to fucking make sure because sometimes for people that's the last to go. Lower belly fat is one of the last things to go for me. Lower belly fat and armpit, like underneath my arms, for some reason. I have no idea why. Is the last bit of fat to go on me. I will I will be completely shredded up through here and still have a little bit, like a little pooch. But that's from being very, very, very big before. There are like signs that show that, or studies that show that yohimbein HCl does help with visceral fat, but that's because it's a different kind of fat and it's metabolized differently too. But even then, it's just like one of the extra little things, and a lot of people cannot consistently ingest yohimbein HCl without some stomach distress. So just to be careful. But I'd just be consistent is what I would do. So, what would your version of the food pyramid look like if you even used that concept? I would never use that concept. But I can say this: I eat a majority, and it depends on the person and how active they are. Because, I mean, once you get to your protein allotment, there's really you don't need much more. But I eat about 1.5 pounds of beef or other animal meat in a day, and that's where I get my protein and healthy fats from. And then the rest I fill in with vegetables most of the days, and then I take a multivitamin and shit like that. So where I would change it, like I would place any processed carbohydrate to the side and state that is for pleasure only. Like the foods that you need are the foods that come from the ground, the foods that eat the stuff that comes from the ground, and the foods that eat the things that eat the food that come from the ground. Those are the essentials. That's it. But great question. Thank you. Alan Roberts is funny. I'm 32, but I remember being 17, thinking seriously to myself, I swear this is all backwards. It's been backwards for a while. It really has. I'd put the bottom and have fruits and vegetables and put the bread on top to fix the dairy. We don't need, I would not put that in the pyramid. I would not even make it be seen as a necessity. Sugar and processed carbohydrates should be viewed as for pleasure only. For pleasure only. If you view them like that, you will be healthier. View them as for pleasure only. You will be healthier. Trust me. I eat tahini and hummus, but I make my own from scratch. It's good. I'm struggling eating 1,200 calories. I'm small. I eat small portions, and when I swap to healthy foods to lose the last 5 kilograms, I sometimes eat below 1,000 calories. Is it too low? I'm not going to say it's too low, but it depends on how tall you are, your age, and stuff like that. That's very fucking low. I mean, so you're losing weight at under 1,000 calories. I mean, unless you're very, 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 very short. You seem like you're extreme. That would require being extremely sedentary, and I would suggest you move your body more and eat more calories. So, because if you're, under 1,000 calories, I worry about you getting the basic micronutrients that you need also. So I do hope that you are taking multivitamin. I am not your coach, so I'm not going to coach you unless you hire us to coach. But I would have you eat more and move more than that. That's low. I don't care what anybody says. That's just fucking low. And I have a hard time believing that that's the only way you can lose the last 5 kilograms, which is 11 pounds. That I have a hard time believing that. That would mean that your basal metabolic rate would be somewhere around fucking 900 calories plus your TDEE, your total daily energy expenditure, would be about 900 calories. You would either have to have completely unmedically managed hypothyroidism, or you are just eating, you are just not moving, and to be able to need to lose another 11 pounds, I would suggest that you fucking move a little bit more. I can't imagine that your muscular system, that your skeletal muscle is of any substantial health benefit either. You're probably very under muscled. So that would require almost no movement on your part. So, there you go. I never eat yogurt, drink milk. Do you think people just are in healthy food overload and just go for easy stuff? I really don't. I think sometimes people, a huge portion of the problem is people don't even know how to cook anymore too. Where I cook all my own meals, all my own meals. Crystal and I cook all my own meals. I think that people are into convenience mode. I think people are fucking. You go for the easy stuff. Yeah, they're in absolute convenience mode. Sorry. I eat OMAD so easy. Most people have a hard, if you eat processed carbohydrates, eating OMAD is like fucking torturous. Eat a big salad with a lot of water before anything else. Eat higher volume, lower calorie food. I actually like eating a big piece of steak first. It satiates me way more than a salad would. James, have a great fucking day. It depends on your height daily, but generally, yeah, I would fucking agree. It's way too fucking long. I eat twice a day. I'm 160, and that maintains me through the day. If not, I'll do a fruit shake. That's the thing too. Like I keep hearing people say, like breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Show me why. Show me how. You know, like you're acting like your body can't fucking come up with energy. If you're fat, your body can come up with plenty of energy. Absolutely, it absolutely should. I mean, like it absolutely can. I mean, so. I actually lost another 9 pounds, which brings me down to 119 pounds. My job has me moving constantly. Be careful. You don't want to necessarily go too low. I mean, just be honest. I mean, be real. You know. I'm struggling to lose the last 25 pounds. I've been stable for about a year. Linda, I'm telling you, we could help you. We actually could. It's a matter of changing up your lifestyle a little bit to be more conducive. And the problem is, if you're having a hard time dipping your calories any lower or maintaining any more activity, it's because it's in a non-sustainable way, and your body and you're fighting back against it. So what you need to do is change up little bits of your lifestyle to make it, because you should be satiated and satisfied the whole time. Like if you're struggling means hunger. Hunger means bounce back. It needs to be set up where you can be happy and healthy on the food you're eating. I'm 5'2" and I'm never hungry, but I also work out and I feel fine. I'm sorry, but like if you eat under 900 calories, you're not working out. At 5'2", you're not. If you work out and you don't have 11 pounds to lose either, so stop with the troll. It's insulting to people that actually have problems. Just to be real. So you're in timeout now, by the way. Fuck, I'm just blocking you. Fuck that shit. You know, like. That's stupid bullshit. That's completely unrealistic. You know, I work out and to lose weight I need to eat under 1,000 calories and I'm 5'2". That's fucking bullshit lie. Bullshit lie. Fuck that shit. Some people want to be vegans, vegetarians, so their protein sources would be quite different than omnivorous diets. That's true too, but like I even like eat beans, legumes, stuff like that. I mean, you're pretty good to go. The thing about that to be a healthy vegan, you need to watch your B12, obviously. You need to be very, very careful. Normally it requires some supplementation, by the way. And you need to very much focus on getting enough protein in, which is beans, legumes. You would eat a lot of broccoli, because broccoli has peas. You'd be fucking living on peas, you know, shit like that. And you know, you would be getting plenty of fiber. And the thing is, to get enough protein, most vegans need to eat a decently high caloric load, so they need to move a lot. But I mean, if you're on the go all the goddamn time, and you eat peas and stuff like that, you can still be very, very, very healthy. But the issue for most vegans is that they eat a lot of processed vegan crap. That's the fucking thing. Hunger can be affected by hormones, thyroid, additional factors. You may have some unknown factors. I can guarantee you this: that person was bullshit. I gained like 40 kilograms in a year from a medication I'm no longer on. Now losing the fat, drinking the water you recommend definitely works. Low carb works amazing as well. That's a big fucking thing. Doctors should not put people on medications that cause their metabolic rate to go low like that. You needed especially because they did not help you out with a dietitian. Gaining 88 pounds in a fucking year from a medication because it has in some way either impacted your other hormones and or your basal metabolic rate or your energy levels, that's a fucking dangerous thing. That is, to me, that is medical malpractice right there. You know, and people need to understand, medical error is the third leading cause of death in the United States. 250 to 440,000 people die every year of medical error. To me, that's a medical error. Right? Because they put your health at risk to meet another health need. And that they're trying to, it's basically the subscription service. So then they put you on a medication for some sort of health need that causes you to gain 88 pounds. And then you have to go on hypertension medication. Then you have to go on diabetes medication. It's like this fucking, you see what I'm saying? I eat under 1,000 calories a day. I'm 5'6", and I'm in college, so I walk from class to class to class. I think you might be wrong. I'm technically underweight, but I don't look like it. I'm not wrong. I mean, you obviously sound like you have an ingestion disordered eating issue, as you did proclaim. But eating under 1,000 calories a day at 5'6" and moving around. I don't know what your body weight is at, but I'm just saying that, like, unless you have some sort of other serious metabolic disorder, like unmanaged hypothyroidism, eating under 1,000 calories a day, one, I will state, is very hard. I hope you're taking a multivitamin, and I hope you're watching out for your fatty acids. And if you think you cannot lose weight, or I'm technically underweight, but I don't look like it. It sounds like you might have some sort of body dysmorphia too. I don't know. I haven't seen pictures of you, but you know, we do help people in your position, but I can't say that there's something amiss there. I'm just being very honest. I need to lose 40 pounds. I've signed up for your program. I'm ready. Excellent. Excellent. Let me check to make sure we getting you through. Nothing's come through yet unless you went through the website. So, I mean, to Joe, nothing's come through yet. So, that's guys, you know. Please don't block me. I'm not trolling. I swear. I'm not saying you are, but I am saying that there's something amiss there. So, I mean, if you would like to come live, we can talk about it. What 1,000 calories are you sending your body into survival mode, do you think? It depends on the person. It really does. It depends on the person, the activity level, that sort of thing. My worry is the micronutrients. But survival mode, too, is also a fucking... I mean, people can go... Like, the thing is, if you watch... Like, again, I'll always point to the show Alone. Like, they eat very little and they still lose a lot of fucking weight. You know? Like, that's the thing. So... Yeah, Domataggio. I don't. Unless you signed up the other day, I haven't seen it come through. So I did want to leave this one more time with people because we are about to be done for the day. It is 8:30. I've been on for an hour and a half. This is the longest one so far. Where did you get the medical error stat? That doesn't even show up in the top 10 of deaths for CDC. Well, I mean, let me see here. This is on the BMJ. Give me 1 second. Oh, this was fucking. Wait a second. This is from CNBC, and this is from the February 28th. And one of the studies here. Here we go. This is good. I knew I had it. New evidence. We can actually go over this real quick. This will be the last thing we fucking go over. Oh, okay. Cool. Make sure you go complete your profile. That way we can fucking take care of shit. All right. Since that woman called you out and your friend was on Tim Pool, what woman called me out? I'm not even fucking familiar with it. What woman called me out? Called me out for what? I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. Did the fucking, what's her name, fucking say something back? Because she fucking clearly pandered to a fucking audience? Please link that if she did. That's fucking amazing. Here we go, hang on. I do have this. This study right here. And... Oh, okay, hang on 1 second. I'm sorry. It's 400, it's not 440. But it's 400. And we're going to go right here. So if she called me out, I would fucking destroy her. I don't know. If Tim Pool would ever invite me on, I'd fucking be on. I can guarantee that shit. But boom. So this says using weight as an average for 4 studies, a lower limit of 210 deaths per year was associated with preventable harm in hospitals. Given limitations to search capabilities of the global trigger tool, the incompleteness of medical records on which the tool depends, the true number of premature deaths associated with preventable harm to patients was estimated more than 400,000 per year. Seriously, it seems the harm to be 10 to 20 fold more than what it was. And that's that. So. Anyway, I would love to know if she fucking said something back, because I would fucking devastate her. I mean, devastate her. It wouldn't even be a thing. She openly fucking, for real, what woman? And just because my friend was on Tim Pool doesn't mean that I'm going to be on Tim Pool, by the way. So, I don't know. I would love to know who it was, so if you can type it in real quick, that would be awesome. If not, any last questions from anybody? And I don't actually suggest, by the way, I don't actually suggest you Google it. I suggest you go to DuckDuckGo, because Google will not give you the thing. Things are loaded with sugar. To avoid them, absolutely. Like Starbucks are fucking loaded with sugar. So, boom. Anyway, I fucking hope that woman fucking called me out. Well, what? How about Spotify choosing Rogan over Neil Young? That's fucking free speech. Why the fuck would anybody have a problem with this? Don't listen. Again, it's what we talked about at the very beginning. Don't fucking listen. Like, by the way, Neil Young fucking thinking like, hey, I'll take my music down. Like, dude, talk about a fucking grandiose. She just said she hates you. Who? The woman that was on Tim Pool? She can hate me all she wants. Doesn't change the fact that she fucking looks like a fucking pandering idiot. But no, back to this. Give me the name of the person. Is it the person that I did the video about from Tim Pool? Let me know that. So. And if you could, show me where she said it. I would fucking love to. I'll pay that a visit. Make it my day. They'll not like it. Sweet. I don't know if you'll be able to send it through as a link, but where at? Yeah, it's something. I constantly find myself seeing food labels being astonished by what they put in their bodies. No shit, it's fucking crazy. It really is. But the video is gone. Shocking. The video is gone. Now I'm curious. I want to see the video. Yeah, we'd play it right here. Like, I mean, if we would play it right here, right fucking here. So, gotcha. I was unaware. That's how fucking meaningless she is. I don't find it. Where is it at? Let me know. Let me know what website it's on. So, was it the woman that was on Tim Pool that was complimenting the obese women that are on Cover Magazine? I believe that's who he's talking about. I would love to fucking see where she fucking said she just hated me. I eat carbs in moderation and measure them. I eat them sparingly. That's very good. It's very, very good. Milligrams, not grams. Sorry, Chatter. Let me see what you were saying. 4 grams equals one teaspoon. So if something has 40 grams of sugar, that's 10 teaspoons of sugar in 1 cup. Nasty. No shit. I fucking agree. But she can, like, there's not much, I would debate her any given fucking time on how the fact she's a pandering liar. I mean, we can replay it. She's a pandering liar. Like, at one point in time, she's like, oh, they look great. Oh, I think she looks awesome. And then she's like, who would believe this? Who are they speaking to? That's fucking crazy. I mean, it was right there. Like, literally right there. I would gladly fucking have a discussion with her. Do you think adding normal-sized women to the runway, is a step in the right direction or just pandering? I mean, my thing is, I have no problem with anybody being on a runway. Like, I want, wear whatever the fuck you want to wear, okay? I personally think, like, I'm a big, women should be able to go topless where men can go topless. Like, wear what the fuck you want to wear. I do not fucking care. I don't, okay? I believe in freedom. I believe that, I believe that we should fucking, you know, represent people, absolutely. And I do think that overly skinny models were a problem, just as I believe that fat models are a problem. I don't think we should idealize illness at all. I just don't think at all. So having normal sized women on there, absolutely. Of any shape, of any shape, size, body build, absolutely. Having morbidly obese people on the cover or tragically skinny women on the cover of magazines is very fucking dangerous. It's very, very, very dangerous societally because, again, obesity is absolutely societally contagious. So, but you say that that's her. Where did you see it? You said you found it, but where did you see it? Because I would love to fucking see it. I mean, she didn't. For her to call me out, I listed her by name. I don't understand why she wouldn't call me out. But she didn't actually call me out if I did not fucking know about it. Just to be real, she fucking spoke into her fucking void to avoid fucking being destroyed by somebody that very clearly is intellectually her superior and won't pander. Just toot my own horn there a little bit too. I'm 54 and some things, and things should be hosted if you get my drift. I get you. Depending on what you mean by normal size, women test, for example, should not be. That's the thing. She's not normal size. Yeah, her walking on one way is very, very bad. Be right back. Hey, we're about to leave actually. So I just am trying to find out where this would be, like where she would have said something or fucking had a video about saying anything about me, because that would be a very, very serious misstep on her part. Extremely, extremely serious misstep on her part. But I appreciate you letting me know. Maybe I'll check into it here in a little bit. Again, guys, we will talk on Monday. I'm not sure what the topic is going to be, but I might put out a pre-video in case it is one that has sensitive content for it. If you check on the YouTube banner, and I'm going to put the banner a bunch of other places, I'm going to put out each week's schedule of lives just so people can work around it. Let me see. Shouldn't potatoes be separated from bread category? Absolutely. They absolutely should. Processed carbohydrates should be in a category all their own. Absolutely. And later, everybody have a great fucking day. Have a great fucking weekend. Get out and get some activity if you can, if it's not fucking frigidly cold. If you can, try to avoid processed carbohydrates as much as possible. It will help you out. Trust me. Goddamn.